Okay guys, so now we're gonna look at the round kick. And the round kick is one of those things that makes Muay Thai really popular. The round kick in Muay Thai is all about power. There's a lot to do with delivery of energy. And we're gonna look at that in detail a little bit more later on. But essentially, for any strike, there's three parts to it. Number one is the acceleration. So that's from the floor to the target. Number two is transmission. So how can I get the energy into the target? And that's how I turn my body over, how I turn my body mechanics through. And then we have retraction. So how fast can I get from there to there? How can I turn my body so that I can deliver as much energy as possible? And then how do I get back to a good fighting stance? So we're gonna have a little look at that right now. So I'm gonna start with the rear leg. Again, from Muay Thai perspective, leg kicks are great. They're damaging, they can stop people for sure, but they don't score a whole lot. So you'll see in Muay Thai, body kick tends to be the favorite. Head kick, of course, is amazing and great for knockouts, but can be a little bit dangerous for you to throw as well. So you have to be aware of both of those. So we're gonna go on the body right now. Number one tip is from my Mayong, I'm stepping a little bit to the side, just a tiny little bit. That's dependent on distance, but I'm starting to get the rotation going with that step. So I'm on the ball of the foot and I'm starting to turn that knee. So that's gonna get my hips to start to move because I need them sideways to develop energy going horizontally. So, little tiny step, I'm gonna swing this leg up from the back and I'm gonna hammer that pad. So, little tiny step and I hammer that pad. And again, remember to breathe. If you want to yell, yell it out. And we start to yell. There we go. So that's what it looks like at speed. Let's break it down. I'm going to give you 3 rules for the top and 3 rules for the bottom. Let's start on the bottom. So, number 1, step off line on the ball of the foot, and I'm going to rotate that foot. That's number 1. I'm going to put them up on the screen right here for you. Rotate on the foot. Number 2 is I want to push my hip through the target. So I'm turning that hip flat. Again, it's very difficult for me to generate power going this direction if my hips are square. So if my hips are here, my energy is going there. So I need to turn my hips sideways to be able to develop energy going this way. Yeah, and that doesn't happen unless you rotate that foot. So foot, hips. And the last one is relax the leg and push off the target. So I'm not pulling my own foot back, I'm not pulling my foot back, I'm pushing through the target to bring myself back. And that adds to the translation or the transmission of energy into the target. So I'm just gonna push off to bring my foot back. So all 3 of those things, step, turn the foot up on the ball of the toe. Turn the hips over so they're horizontal, and push off your opponent. And all 3 are coming together. There we go. Upper body. So now we are going to, first things first, good posture all the time. So I'm rotating on that central pillar. If you can imagine that, this is where it differs a little bit from different martial arts. And again, that just depends on the rules. It's not that it's better or worse. It's like rugby and football. Obviously ice hockey is the best one, but never mind that. It just depends on the rules. And it's very difficult from a Muay Thai perspective. If I lean when I kick and they catch it, I'm gonna be on my backside and I'm gonna be losing. So I need to maintain that posture all the time so that if they do catch it, I can still defend myself. So that's number 1, chin down, good posture. Number 2 is chop and swing. So with the same side that I'm kicking with, so if I'm kicking with the right, my right hand is gonna chop my neck and swing out. Now we have different positioning for the hands in different circumstances, but we'll get to that later on. All I want right now is chop and swing. And I'm gonna time the chop with the step. So as I step with my left, I chop with my right. Left one just drops slightly to allow it to go through. Then I'm gonna swing that one all the way through and turn my hip. The last thing is the guarding hand is gonna be on the same side of the body so that it's developing energy in rotational direction. So I'm pulling my shoulder back so that it allows my right side to come forward. Again, if the guarding hand is going across, it's dragging my shoulders that way, whilst my hips are trying to go that way. So you get this counterproductive action. So I want to be pulling this back so that it allows the same side to go forward. So all 6 things together. Step and pivot. Turn the hip. Relax the leg and push off the target. Chin down, good posture, chop and swing, and guarding hand is on the same side. So let's just do a couple of those and see what it looks like. Angled here, try to give you a few different views. And that's the rear leg round kick. So now the lead leg round kick is exactly the same thing, but I just flip it. So I'm going to do the same thing right now. We're going to do it with the step. So for phase 1, you just need the step. So little tiny step, just like we did with the right, and all 6 of those elements are still in play. This time I'm going to chop with the left. I'm trying to push off her so that my leg is coming back without me having to bring it back. Now, I'm going to give you 2 places to recover. Number 1 is I'm going to put it down right where my foot is and step back. And the idea is that I'm not actually retreating. I'm just coming back to where I was, so that if she's moving forward at that point, I can still deal with pressure. Or I'm going to drop it straight down, and I'm going to encroach on her. So I'm stealing her space. What I try not to do, if possible, is take a big step back like that. Sometimes, of course, that might happen, but I don't want to practice that, because what that's doing is allowing her now to have all the impetus to come forward. So I want to stand my ground and be able to deal with pressure there. So let's throw a few kicks from different angles and then you can get an idea. So. And that's the lead round kick.